Good morning to my lovely people. Hope all is well with you all and that your day is going fine. Mine is very cool and going fine. You know, let me get right into it. I thought that after the election bell went and everything settled, remember to be a lot of people, we saw that the others wanted to recount and recount and recount. Well, all right, recount and everything finished, right? So I said, well, you know, everybody, they could just keep quiet and everybody could just get back to the right self and, you know, just have a chill time. But I realized that no, this is not what these people are for. But before I go, do anything else, yesterday I sat the whole day, I tell you, the whole day, to find the speech that was given by the now rejected leader of the PNM Tobago Council. So I got it at last, a little while ago. I really was coming this morning to talk about my cousin Tracy, but I will talk about him first. I will let you all listen to him, and while we listen to him, we will discuss. And after we listen to him and we discuss this thing where these people talking, then I will talk about the next madam. I will talk about she. So here goes.
Good evening, everyone. I am here to do two things. Number one, I'm here to concede defeat in this Tobago House of Assembly election, notwithstanding the fact that I think we ran an extremely good race and an extremely good campaign. The people of Tobago have spoken, and such is democracy.
Right.
And I want to thank the people that supported the PNM. I want to thank the candidates, some of them here with me this evening, the 14 of them, excellent, outstanding individuals who offered themselves at a very difficult time for the People's National Movement, trying to move from opposition back into the Tobago House of Assembly, offering the people of Tobago something different, something bold, something new, to put Tobago
Let me finish with that.
Again.
Right, we got pause there. Them was trying to do what they wanted to do to get back into government. To get back into government to do what? To get the people and them who robbed the assembly, who robbed Tobago the money, to see if we could get them off by some way or some means of technicality, to bring back the feeders here, the Tobago feeders, to finish rape and mash up with little island and talking about what? Make Tobago great again. That is what we, the people of Tobago, do. We continue to make Tobago great. But you know, Ansel is a soft-spoken, listen, what's a call boy? You know, a serpentine person. That is Ansel Dennis. Continue to listen to him. I tell you, these people is like they still have it in their mind that they are entitled, that Tobago belongs to them. Listen to him.
It was not meant to be, obviously, and as I said before, that is democracy at work, and as is always the case in the PNM, we respect the wishes of the people of Tobago and we accept these results in this election. I want to thank our supporters, the campaign team. There are people out there who chose to register their support for the PNM, signaling that they believed in what the PNM has to offer the people of Tobago at this point in time. But in democracy, in this kind of democracy, the majority rules. And some of the seats we lost by very narrow margins. We don't have the final numbers as yet. But
I want to address that statement there before you even talk anymore. Some of the seats they lost by very narrow margins. I tell you yesterday on my live that a seat that the top then should have won and could have won, was lost by 1 vote. You know, we never come outside here to talk, well, we lost a seat by 1 vote. Faith lost his seat by 5 votes. So when you're talking about very narrow margin, 17 was the number. Right now, we don't know. They had a recount, eh? So no, this was before the recount. The recount that they asked for. You know, we know the after the recount numbers yet. They wanted recount. It was 17. It wasn't 7. And they asked for recount in 2 places. They had asked for recount in the place they call Scarborough Mongrace, where Petal, she said, went up. And she lost by 151 votes, and yet still they wanted to recount. So I want to know what the narrow margin was. These people are different, yes?
Expect there to be some recounts along the way. Kelvin, you lost your seat by 17 votes, so obviously there will be a recount in that case. And the second thing I want to say to the people of Tobago...
Wait, and before you go further, he said several, eh? He said in several cases. How come it's only Kelvin who they wanted to recount? And it was so narrow. If it was so narrow as he said, why it is only Kelvin City recounted? And crazy woman Petal put in, she said that she recounted to see if they can find 151 votes. Why then people go there? Now go.
I intend to support a transition to new leadership within the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement. I will be 39 on Wednesday.
Today, birthday.
I will be calling it a day or perhaps a week in politics, right? I think I have offered myself to the people of Tobago from 2012 at a very tender age to now.
Listen to this story.
I had the opportunity to serve as an assemblyman for the people of Buku Pleasant. I served as an assistant secretary, deputy presiding officer, and then most recently as chief secretary. And as usual,
with that one there, when he talk about most recently as chief secretary, that was the last position he held. He must always remember to tell the people a position that he was not elected for. Fali Chavez Augustine fought elections, won elections, and was elected as chief secretary. They performed the coup, but I got to deal with that when I deal with Miss Tracy. That's all. There we go.
When you preside over a defeat, it is usual for the political leader to step aside. And
he said when you preside over defeat, it is usual for the political leader to step aside. All you listen to me. When Madam Tracy they lose the election, the last DHA, remember she said she's not going nowhere? All you remember that? So now he know what going on with that boy here. He don't want them to shame him out and run him out like a dog. So he take in front. He take in front. He do like a leader, Papa Rose. You understand me? And that is why he playing. He taking in front because he know they're going to treat him like a dog and kick him out like a dog. That's the only thing I'm telling him he's smart for. Right?
I want to say thanks to the people of Tobago and to the people of this party for the opportunity to serve. It is not something I took lightly over the years.
The 2 years that you was there, where he thief out Tobago for a little 1% as he and that crazy.
Of Tobago, right? But following the results of this election, I will be stepping aside.
Taliban.
Appropriate time, of course.
All right.
Done responsibly
I'm coming by you for
to ensure that there is, as smooth as possible, a transition to whoever will emerge as the next leader of the PNM here in Tobago. In fact, we are due to have internal elections in April of this year, which is what, in 3 months. And I will discuss with the leadership all the possibilities including the possibility of having the internal elections sooner than they are due, so that we can transition and prepare for the next 4 years and prepare to hold the next or the same teacher administration accountable as far as we possibly can.
What do you think in terms of the PNM? Where did the PNM go wrong?
Well, it's difficult to say at this point. I really cannot evaluate at this point in time and say to you that there are things, especially during the last 3 or so months, that we would have done differently. Again, I think the campaign...
I like that word I used there. So they did not do anything differently. They come to Tobagonian, but I want to let you PNM people understand. There is a thing called social media. There is a thing called people love to take the camera, poke it here, poke it there. There is a thing called the World Wide Web. And people see and know everything that is taking place now. So you can't lie. You can't come here with a set of foolishness and expect people to accept all the dirtiness. You can't do that, boy. You see, you should have learned to do things differently. Don't do it the same. That is our biggest downfall.
It's an excellent one from all reports. I think the messaging was very appropriate and relevant. I think there were sufficient issues in this election that we highlighted.
All lies.
Of course, we will do the necessary analysis of the election results at the appropriate time. In fact, the campaign team will meet before the end of this week, and the leadership as well will meet to discuss the outcome of this election and to see how we go forward.
Mr. Augustine would have said earlier today that, the issue of the radar is not something that swayed the voters.
Exactly.
Well, it's difficult to see because, again, without analyzing the results carefully, it's difficult to see because when you evaluate the results of the election, it points to this administration winning with less votes, significantly less votes it appears to be, and I don't have all the numbers at present, but I'm just...
That piece of dotish is what they want to keep putting out in the public. Winning with less votes, significantly less votes, to be. The whole thing about it, Keegan BT, so bad, so bad. Oh Lord, there we go.
Based on the information I've seen, less votes than they won with in 2021. So it points to a certain level of lethargy and a certain level of disinterest in the people of Tobago, where this particular election was concerned. But the reader...
Before you go on, lethargy, yes, laziness, because listen to me, a lot of people sit at home and they have this kind of idea. Tobago people don't need to stop that dirty shit there. And say, boy, them don't win already, them don't really need me vote, because I know we already win. We win elections on election day. Remember that. Going forward, people, we win election on election day. Whether you tell yourself your candidate go win, let we win by a bigger landslide than we won. And in Tobago, it was, as you will hear down today, where you tell us about 3,000 something people that vote in our area. Some of the names on the list to vote, them people that don't even live at Tobago still. Plenty of them migrate. So I don't know what foolishness they're talking about, and it was more than 50% or more than half of the voting population that voted. It was not 23%, but a 50 point, I think a 6-9 or whatever, 50 point something. So let us stop with the dirtishness. We're going here any radar.
Is an issue, and it will continue to be an issue as long as we continue to have that radar in Tobago. But of course, the results of
the radar will be an issue. For who?
Can certainly be taken as an indication that the people of Tobago may have no issue with the radar.
I got you know.
Among other things that transpired over the last 4 years.
The TPP at the
foolish boy
claiming that 15-0. Can you confirm?
Hair kicks.
And it's still preliminary figures at this point in time.
Right, so I don't have the final results. What I can say is that we have lost the election. I don't know how many seats, I don't know the margins as yet, but we have lost the election as I conceded before.
Well, the EDC's CEO is that preliminary results indicate 15 nil in favor of the TPP.
And again, I have not seen the preliminary results as yet.
Imagine that, so that means they wasn't even checking the board or checking nothing. All of a sudden.
Respond to that.
The PNM will never die. The PNM will never die. You see, and anybody who says that does not understand the history of the politics and the history of the PNM.
Well, I have a wait before you continue. I have a message for you. Ansel, the PNM is dead in Tobago. Dead. You see, we put all in a coffin and we bury all here. You all had a nice funeral service. You are dead. You and your PNM dead. Balize house is in Port of Spain. Right there it will stay. Not here. There we go. Yeah, the issue.
2001. More times than not. In fact, all the time, I think we had just one seat in the Tobago House of Assembly. We rose to taking responsibility for the Tobago House of Assembly for 21 years.
Oh, Lord.
And anybody who says that the PNM is dead does not understand the political history of the PNM and of this island and this.
Just now. And the one seat that they had was the man that was called Mr. William Mackenzie. And it's because Mr. William Mackenzie, even though he used to wear Balize clothes, his mind wasn't Balize. Just as Mr. Hilton Sandy, even though he used to wear Balize clothes, his mind wasn't Balize. His mind was people-oriented. Mr. Mackenzie was a decent man. That is why he kept that seat for the times that he kept it. That was the only reason. So there we go.
By extension. So the PNM is not dead. We are certainly defeated tonight, and we are not sore losers. We will never be sore losers. In fact, I am in very good spirits.
If there wasn't sore losers, I would not look for recount.
Learning, I don't like to call it losing, but I've accepted learning as a part of life. And of course, going into any undertaking, you always, and maybe it's a life lesson for all of us, you always have to be prepared for any outcome.
I mean, there's no representation. If it is in fact 50-nil, of course there would not be any opposition. So, how do you envision a Tobago House of Assembly over the next 4 years?
Well, if that's what the people of Tobago chose, then
that is what we chose.
We'll have to live with it. But I can tell you that as a political party, under new leadership at the appropriate time, I am sure that.
You hear what he's saying? Well, if it develop all we have to live with it. So when we take them and put them there and give them 12-0 and tell them run Tobago, run the assembly, and they run it into the ground. Them didn't know that they had to live with it. So all of a sudden, it's a wrong thing that Tobago gave the island to a Tobago party, to Tobago, for Tobago to run it. You think them boys are so easy? Now, boy, listen now.
Systems will be put in place to try as best as possible to hold this administration accountable. And we have said a lot.
I don't know how you're doing that.
This election campaign, and therefore I will not repeat it. But it is very important that we find ways to hold this administration accountable to the people of Tobago.
And in case I already missed it because of all the noise that was down the road, let you PNM and them who inside our assembly and who was trying to frustrate the progress of Tobago with all the bad behaviors and bad mind and all the wickedness all they used to do in all those divisions. As my chief said, he is coming for all you. He's watching all you. He's watching all you good and he coming for all you. We will mark all you with hawk's eye now. Play all you trying to destabilize Tobago and undermine Tobago's progress. It not happen this wrongs. Let me lie you know. Why?
Or else we will continue to have even greater issues than we had over the last 4 years.
You must stop your lie. That was your problem.
Voter turnout, just short of it. In 2021, it would have been about 50% upwards for the past few elections. It seems as though it's a low voter turnout. Do you think there's not enough confidence in the voters in Tobago itself?
Yes,
Yeah, and they see all them lie and media like disputing. They sit down there the night and morning, but it seemed to be like a low voter turnout. He's of himself opened out and said it has always been 50% and upwards. Brother man, it's still 50% and upwards. Go and check the EBC page and you will see a 50 point whatever. So still more than 50% are the same thing. It balance out there. It balance out there. That's how the people that us vote. All you come out with all the lying propaganda self as usual, all here. Well, all I didn't even know that the news there is no more. Papa, you. I just saw the news there in this one. Deteriorated. Just so all of who are accustomed to telling lies and pushing all the lying propaganda thing, all of them will end up disintegrate. Watch and see.
I did indicate earlier that there seems to be some lethargy, and the people of Tobago may perhaps be losing interest, and this election perhaps indicates that people are not necessarily satisfied with the governance given to them over the last 4 years, and understandably so. But for some reason, notwithstanding the fact that I think we had a solid campaign, a solid...
It said people not satisfied. The election results showing you. People are not satisfied with the governance of that we had for the last 4 years. Now that one just kind of get me say, wait. Ansel is a crazy man. I'm not satisfied with you, but I going to vote you. I'm not satisfied with you. I don't like what you did. I don't like what you're doing, but yet still I reject you. And I take the same people who I ain't satisfied with. So now what you are trying to tell Tobago people, where I tell are we real dotish? And are we don't know nothing? I'll pour you and say, I'll go.
Message and so on. People were not moved towards supporting the People's National Movement.
Because I know I don't have nothing to bring.
I must admit that I saw those indications earlier. When I realized that the voter turnout was not as high as I expected it to be.
Do you think you not stepping down or stepping aside as leader of the PNM Tobago Council would have contributed to today's defeat?
Perhaps, I don't know.
Why you must accept your wrong.
We lost an election like tonight, right? 14-1. And I decided to take on the responsibility.
In case I didn't know, 15-0.
At that time. Could I have stepped down? Perhaps I could have. But I don't think it would have been in the best interest of the party to step down during that 4-year period. But I'm stepping down very soon. And I hope that will make a lot of people more happy.
I will not meddle.
When did you notice this dissatisfaction among the electorate in Tobago? Was it during the campaign? Was it earlier on?
Dissatisfaction with what exactly?
The voters in Tobago. Is it something that you noticed during the campaign trail when you were talking to people?
No, not necessarily. In fact, as I said, the campaign was very vibrant, very energetic. We were able to attract massive amounts of people to meetings, Tobagonians. We were having...
Ansel, you must stop tell lie. Ansel media still gonna watch back some kind of clips where they selling on reels. And Ansel all the meeting wasn't attracting no significant amounts of Tobagonians. Stop your lying tongue. You lost already and you continue lying. If all the PNM people continue with all the liar behaviors, all will never ever see governance in Trinidad again. I know all ain't come back here. But no, all will never see governance in Trinidad neither. Oh Lord, man.
conversations on the ground. The candidates were talking to people, talking to the electorate, and our information is that people were dissatisfied. But for some reason, on election day, that dissatisfaction was not reflected in the results.
So that means you are telling lie.
While it is a sweep, it is not something to celebrate because of the voter turnout. Do you share that same sentiment? Because it seems like people are just dissatisfied with...
Yeah, and I did indicate that before, that the low voter turnout signals some level of disinterest in the process, or...
Yeah, all I see all the beat that stupidest for low voter turnout, low voter turnout. Yeah, all I see all the beat that whip.
But we're still not prepared to support the change.
Yeah.
I've heard people say, well, let's give them some more time. We have said on the campaign trail, some more time to do what? To
build Tobago, brother.
But again, the people decided, and we respect the results. And yes, the results were pretty close in a number of the seats. And elections and election nights.
As you say, yeah, gone again. The results were pretty close in a number of the seats. Now, if the election was pretty close in a number of the seats, again, I'm going to ask the question. Why it is the only seat, in fact, that they said was kind of close was Ricky and that boy. Why they did not go and, you know what I mean, recount all of them because they said they were pretty close. You said they were pretty close. Recount all of them. Ah, jeez, man.
About swings, and we did not achieve the swing that was needed to bring home the majority of.
Are you here swing?
That there are no longer any safe seat for the PNM in Tobago with these results tonight. Just respond to that.
There's no safe seat anywhere in Tobago. As I said, it's about swing.
The two lied. They used to say that same Lambo Lowlands, the seat there, they've been set up in a PNM stronghold. Patience, Hill, Signal Hill, them used to say that at them own. We're not talking about Bukumong Pleasant. They've been set on the strong PNM. Canaan, Bonaccord, Concord, been a Canaan, Bonaccord. They used to say that a PNM stronghold. Some you know what you're talking about. All of a sudden, they're in a stronghold. It has swings. Why it has swing? People wake up. Ansel, Kelvin, and crew, the people of Tobago have woken up. Truth is truth, brother. All of a sudden, you have stronghold again. Okay.
And the swing could go either way at any point in time. In an electorate of 3,000 people per district, where the margins of victory are...
before I forget too, and up in the east, you see Charlottesville. Charlottesville is now a strong PNM stronghold. And Bloody Bay. So you see whoever going up on that corner there, they had to swing Charlottesville and Bloody Bay big. Once they win them, they're so big, the rest of them in a lose. But the people of Tobago have woken up. We wake up, we ain't stupid. All of a sudden, they ain't no stronghold. All they lost all hold. Understand that, my brother? There we go.
I guess you consider 700 votes a landslide victory. In the context of Trinidad, a landslide is about, what, 7,000, 5,000 plus votes. That 7,000 landslide, all it takes is a swing of 350 votes to erase that. And that can happen very, very easily.
And just one last question. I just want you to speak directly to your supporters, those who are actually having a hard time with the results. You just speak directly to them.
Well, we don't want to hear what you have to tell the supporters. I see and them business. But so you see, Ansel and them, you know about what they say, sour grape. He can't accept the loss. And now to Miss Tracy Davison Celestine. I was on my device this morning and I see she was on Brother B page. Tobago, Channel 5. And I wrote down some of the things she was talking when he asked you she questioned. First thing she talking about when you know is asking she about the way in which you treated Mr. Kelvin Charles, right? He is saying that when they lost the election, you know, the best thing to do is to step down. We know she didn't step down. They had an internal election. The man was, yes, he was part of the election, but he lost to her. But he was the sitting chief sec. He didn't lose a general election. That was internal politics. And they took it upon themselves and unseated the man in the middle of his tenure that he couldn't even finish the tenure. And she trying to let people think that what they did there is the same thing like what happened in a general election. My people, remember carefully, when she won as chairman or political leader for Tobago, if she come and make she news conference and say she expects Mr. Charles to resign as the chief secretary. And he came out and he said shit, I mean, he said, I am not going anywhere. And they forced him out and they put in this one here. But what they doesn't understand that they say karma is an itch. And that what goes around comes around. And when you do things and get gains, ill-gotten gains, it just come back to haunt you. Even though I know 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year. And you see, the Lord vindicated that man so greatly that he destroyed this boy twice. The first time he loses his seat by he come up, they say 3. He worry come, they say 4. I say, after he comes again, we might have find another one, it might have been 5. And you see that defeat, it was very hurtful to him. I can say, oh, he hurt him. Tracy put you there and you and she lost together because all they did wrong to Mr. Charles. All of must admit it. All the campaign that they had, people, have you ever heard them mention Kelvin Charles on any one of the platform? That's to tell you how they're bitter against the man. They're very, very bitter against the man. That is who they are. They are a people. If they can't get you one way, they take you out the other way. So, Madam Tracy, right? So, you must hear, and she saying about what? It's mischief, people making mischief, and I know mischief. Tracy, all the evidence is out there in the public domain. And there's are people who just go and dig up things from archives. Me, I know how them themselves get them things to bring out, you know. But it is dig it up to bring it back out here to face all here. You understand me? Here, they ask you if she feels she lost because the people did not like she. Tracy, the people did not like you. And you know why they did not like you? Because of what you did to Kelvin Charles. Admit it, my child, admit it. And if they're thinking to bring you back, well, it's no self-paying them in a rat hole. It's no self all going on in all the grave. And, Amy, they can't bring you. They can't bring Shamfa. They can't bring that dirty boy named Kelvin. And then after me, no nobody else who I have in your party I could put. So all they dead. Understand that all they dead. Right? And then here you. And this will get me most pissed by people. She used the words that were fairly hounded out. No, and first time before she said that, there she, and the opposition. So in she mind, after we run in the assembly for 4 years straight going, after the 6-6, you understand me, and they make themselves kings on the hill. 6 and 6 are equal numbers. And she prime minister come and make it 15. And after that, now they tell herself we opposition and the opposition, that was the word she used. She said, and the opposition, Farley, you understand me, hounded Watson out of office. Farley hounded Watson out of office. You know, they had the thing, they tell themselves that piece of propaganda would have worked. How Farley take over Watson party. Although we ain't going down that road again. We are all one. But for those who didn't understand or wouldn't understand, I'm going to say it again and again and again. My dear cousin Watson is the one who did himself in, because he listened to those PNM wicked, deceitful, diabolical people and did nonsense. That is why he ended up where he is now. He came out in the media brave and bold and cuss out the people them and run them out of the party. He expelled them as his deputies. He threw them out because he was sole selector. He is the one who could have chosen who he wanted as deputy political leader and whatever. And he chose his leaders. And he fired his leaders. He expelled his leaders. So when he expelled them out of the party, the people and them were in the assembly as independent candidates. And then we, the people of Tobago, called upon them to put a house roof over all your head. Build a house for yourself. And we went down to Shoppers Complex on more than one occasion. And we sat up there in the cold AC room then. And we had all kind of different names, all kind of different symbols, name it, we had it, all kind of thing. You hear me? And we made a constitution. And in the constitution, it tells you the whole gist of it is that this party belongs to the people of Tobago. This not Farley party. This not none of them elected representative party. This is our party. We build this from the ground up. Even in the campaign, they're saying, oh, Trinidad are finance our party. Let me tell you something. They sell jersey. We sold jerseys. We sold hoodies. We sold cups. We sold the cup with the cover they call a mug. We were selling things. Monies were made for this campaign by the things that we sold. And I think they must still have more. All I got by the Portmore, I got finished by out all them hoodie and thing we still have. I don't want to keep nothing for that way. Time in the fire by them out. Right? So, after we formed the party, the symbol was given to us. God rest his soul, by a palliative man who wrote it in the sand and showed Farley. He said, and tell him this should be a symbol. And when Farley came in and showed the video of the man and the symbol, everybody went with the anchor. We were happy for the anchor. So that anchor came from that deceased. You understand me? So this is Tobago thing. Right now, we have two Tobago parties. Real, genuine, bona fide Tobago parties, the TPP and the PDP. Even though what's he being gonna take away himself and say he want to be part of Trinidad? No! Stay at Tobago and fight Tobago business. Left them down there. Let them fight them, let them pay them and UNC stay down there and fight themselves. Do not be a part of that. And I was telling you, wasn't that true, you know? Me say, no go in a Trinidad politics. Me may not tell them that. But no, they tell themselves, well, me and I know PhD, me and I know this, me and I know that. So my voice and really I know wait. So Iran go down. Iran go down. When he go down there and he launch. Me stay at Tobago, me never go. Because me never in agreement with that. Right? He take Farley and everybody, all of them run down on Trinidad and when he done, he expel them for the crazy woman. And that's the next thing to hear, that crazy girl. What's her name, Kizel? Crazy Kizel. What was they talking shop in the store and tell herself that they could have run my chief brain and they could have ruled my chief. No better, nobody can rule me chief. He asked him who daddy be and he could tell you. And that's his daddy's son. So nobody can rule him. So Madam Tracy, when you want to talk in nonsense, don't ever try to put me with all you. All you create all a coup and show out your leader. Watson walked. He walked. Because here what? He resigned himself as he was the deputy in the house there. as deputy political leader. He sent in his resignation. Nobody put Watson out on the way. Right? And he just had himself as an ordinary assemblyman. So see, is he moved from this side of the bench and went over there. And when he go over there, right, and they had some vote for some kind of thing that time, they was fixing over the house, and it was done by the same place down a Shaw Park there. Right? And they voted in faith in his place. As deputy chief sec, nothing, it's chief sec. As deputy chief sec, they voted in faith instead of him. And he took his judgy bundle and he went across on the other side. And I sit down in the house and I listen to Watson. And Watson got open him out today and say, I am now sitting down on the side of truth. And I was real vexed. I was real vexed and I was sad. Poor thing, he didn't understand these wicked demoniacs he was sitting down next to. He didn't understand. The first thing them do to poor Watson, they caused him to go and resign his position in PSA. I think that by law, I don't think he did have to do. He was just an assemblyman. You understand me? And they let the man resign his position. So then PNM was after him for a long, long time and he wasn't seeing it. He knew it, you know, because they sent the young girl to try to set him up. And he gets so angry and he calls she by she right name and the whole of Tobago. Some people play the vexing with him for that. But when them calling my chief, all kind of degrading thing, I ain't seen none of them coming out and talk against it. None of you. Some of them very hypocritical in this space. Right? And next thing to hear what they was talking, and they talk about changing the boundaries. And she's saying, you know, because of the change of the boundaries, that is why the election is going as it is going. Who changed the boundaries? Tracy, who changed the boundaries? Election and boundaries, all this a boundary. I mean, a Rowley them was sit down in the cabinet and whoever they're there and change the boundaries. And apart from changing the boundaries, they add on seats. Tracy, it is all of them PNM who did that. So don't talk as though, well, you know, they changed the boundaries, and because the boundaries were changed, we have nothing to do with that. All the time, all the stuff, when all the change the boundaries, things would have been better for all you. But it turned worse. It turned worse. Understand that? Right? And as one young boy said, he call you know what he call you? He write it underneath a post. You know what he call you? Let me see me get the statement good. You are very disingenuous. That is the word that he used. Tracy Davison Celestine, my little cousin, I let you all know, and we are family too. You're very disingenuous. All of us learn to stand on truth. You know for a fact that you and Ansel and all of you did all the wickedness to Mr. Charles. You know for a fact that all the try all the best by bringing in 15 seats to see if all the kind of mastery up. But listen to me, is God holding this party up? The Lord God of heaven is holding this party up. And we are going to stand predominant. As long as these boys do what they have to do, I have no problem. Because I am out here, as I said it before, I'm going to say it again, I am out here to hold them accountable. Tobago people, let us stand resilient against those PNM propagandists, because we send them in the hole, you know. But you see, the video that they make with them going down in the hole in the coffin, what that person didn't do is cover the hole. So I tell you now, go back and make over that video. Cover the hole. That's all you have to do. Because once the hole and cover, they're going to tell themselves that they have some life. Cover the hole, please. I beg and beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. And change the gravestone too. Watch carefully what I put. Change the gravestone and cover the hole. Tobago people, let us stand in solidarity with our assembly. Pray them fellas up and This time around, I know they will do much better than they did. You hear me? I know they will do much, much more better than they did before. All we have to do is to hold their hand and walk along with them. You hear what the chief said? It's not them alone. They're taking ideas and advice from the people. It's not everything that we tell them they're going to take. Because not everything we tell them going to sound good. I understand that. But at least they plan to listen. They plan to listen now. So Tracy and all of you, when all ready to come up and come out, and Kelvin, you want more recount? Oh, Kelly, you little dirty mouth boy. You want to talk all kind of degrading, dirty thing against my chief? You pay for it. You want to stand up and see a woman choke me and jump up over my head and laugh and clap? You pay for it. I told you guys so. It was coming. And one last thing. Me have a good friend who make sure and put it up on his status. When lose or draw, I don't care what they do me. I don't care how pretty them treat me. I had it in there. She said win, lose or draw, she is PNM till she dead. So hear me now. No matter what they did to her and her family, no matter how they treated them like dogs, she's PNM, she's dead. You see the kind of brainwash they do to them people? And all you, it's every day. Like it's every day. I get in a new story about supernatural things that took place, especially in that Roxborough Argyle constituency in the polling station. A new one, I get there. Some new ones, in fact. One body go in, sign up the thing, get the ballot paper to go in to vote, and all of a sudden, the head turned confused. They had the paper in their hand and didn't know what to go and do with the paper. They had to turn to the presiding officer and them to ask them, what am I going to do with this? The person said, wait, they said, watch me get real confused, you know. Me get real confused. I don't know what to do. And it's the presiding officer had to bawl at them to tell them, watch me, go behind them and stamp the paper. Your own child was next in line to vote and had to say, what really going on with you? What going on with you? And then they catch themselves. You hear me? Them child going to vote, and coming out now and studying. I vote? And who I vote for? Is confusion. The level confusion inside the polling station and them. They do everything in their power to see if they can stop this victory, but God was in control, still is in control, and He will always be in control. People, next time we have an election, if we are wrong and think we have to go and vote, because me and when I went and vote, you know the stamp, you put your stamp, you test it out on the piece of something there. I take my stamp and I take it nice and deep. Me and press it hard, you know. I press it down. When I raise up the thing, ink run in. The stamp story have ink like ink running. By me stand up right there, me hold me paper, me blow me paper, me blow me paper. Me tell the deputy presiding officer and me say, me paper, it like it's smudged. And I ain't changing, I ain't going to ask for no next ballot. And I sit down there with it in my hand and I blow the two little bubbles at the bottom there, me blow them till they properly will kind of dry off, and then me fold me paper. It's every single thing that could have happened on that election day. But later for them, to be able people, let me stand predominant, let me hold fast to a little island. Let those red people, red devils, red dwen, or red whatever they be, let them know, not Tobago. We are blue. And that's that. Have a nice day, my dear lovers.